Ever.
This meeting is being recorded. Okay.
Sorry, I just had to start that because I've forgotten
Okay.
to do it before.
That's all right.
Like, I had to
So
make sure.
is the top of my head cut off?
There we go. That's good. Oh,
That's
and
good.
if you're gonna sit back in your chair, that if you stay like that, it'll be good.
Yeah, I'll just say like this.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was contacted in 19 I was contacted in 2010, and it took me till about 2013 to really figure it out. And then about 2016 to really figure it out. And then 4 years of just stomping my foot and, making as much noise as possible. And, the police, the ones that did this work, I'm very proud of them. They did an incredible job. I don't, I have issues with the people that dropped the ball years ago, and it's across the board. It's the school, it's CPS, it's the police, it's the church, it's across the board. It's the adoption agency that put her in all of it. And so, yeah, I just will continue to march forward because that seems the best direction, and just expose the whole thing, and the chips will fall where they may.
This is really though the story of like a mother's journey to, like had it not been for you making a big fuss,
Right.
that's the thing that I think that so many
Brenda
people.
wasn't going to do it.
What'd you
you
say?
know Brenda wasn't going to do it. You saw what Brenda did.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows what Brenda did now, and she can deny all she wants, but I know for a fact she turned a willful blind eye, and she wanted to project the perfect family, and look what she had to project it with. And their daughter's just a absolute train wreck. I feel for her. I'm not a heartless person. She's a young woman, and he's destroyed her life. I'm sure that he did to her what he did to my daughter. Short of killing her, he did everything else. He did what he did to the 6-year-old, and short of killing that little girl, he would have, I believe, and I think he would have killed Vicky Vandenberg, and I think he would have killed all these women had he been able to. He'd have come killed me if he'd been brave enough. Not brave enough.
Is that the frustrating part though, that this went on for so long?
Of course. Sure. This should have been figured out when she was begging for her life 32 years ago. This should have been put in its place 32 years ago. That never should have been the case, that she had to go to the school, to the church, to the CPS, to the counselor, to everybody. So, but I'm not carrying any grudges once this is done. I'm just moving on. I'm not forgiving him. It's not my place to do that. I don't think God expects it of me, and I have no intention of doing it. But I get a lot of peace that this is happening, even though he pled not guilty in the beginning and really was going to go full on to a jury trial. How insane is that? But he didn't want to face Meta. He didn't want to face these people he hurt. I don't think he had any problem with facing me, but you know, I really noticed. I don't know if you saw any of the hearings that went on, but you can buy the videos, and so I have all of them. And COVID caused him, certain things to happen that would not have otherwise happened, and you wouldn't have seen the expressions in his face, and how this, just the fact that they were going to bring in all the prior acts that he committed to prove that he is a violent, manipulative monster who did a very heinous act. And that would have been, the headlines for the 2 weeks it took to put him under. But, juries are unpredictable. Go figure. Made up of people. Someone might have said, well, this was a crime of passion. It was an accident. Everybody else agreeing otherwise, that he killed her intentionally and, had every set it up. He premeditated, but he's getting off the hook with it was a crime of passion, second-degree murder. Now, I'm just gonna take that, I'm just gonna take that as because some people didn't want to be pulled into this, and I think it's better that they weren't pulled into it. So, I'm going to be satisfied with that, but I'm going to make sure he goes down with everything he did exposed, So, it's just, you got to work the hand you're dealt, and this is what I'm dealt. And, uh, you know, I tell you what, though, my daughter has possessed me for the last 10 years. I mean, she's leaving me slowly but surely, but this is her, and he was afraid to face her. I'm as close to her spirit as you're going to get. He killed her body, but he didn't kill her spirit. So that's what he's going to have to live with. And he's going to have to live in a little cage and think about all this. Shame on him. So, I mean, I'm almost past the anger. And, you just work through this stuff. You just survive it or you don't. I mean, I never heard my daughter's voice. I don't know if she's left-handed or right-handed, but I know her through and through. And that's all I need to know. So,
And even still, like, I think that that's the most, for me at least, the most inspiring thing about this story is you didn't know your daughter, but a mother's love knows no, like, it's your daughter. You have to do.
Do you have children?
No, not yet.
Never do. You'll get it. You'll feel it. I don't have any kids now, but yeah, I don't think that it was in the stars. I think it was in the stars for this to happen the way it happened. And I'm just gonna move forward.
Does it
And
feel
I'm gonna be
good
happy.
to be able
Oh,
to do
sure.
that?
Oh,
Like,
sure.
to not have it go to a jury trial, to have him just.
I think that had he pled guilty, I would have been happier. But I know what no contest is. I know what that means, and I know what it'll bring. And Kathleen and I put him away forever. Kathleen Doyle, my daughter, and I put him away forever. So, I mean, we surrounded him. And I think it's really poignant, poetically just that all women put him away. It's all women. Okay. The judge, the prosecutor, all the women he hurt, my daughter, the only, once again, I have to go back to Vanessa. I really feel bad for her. I hope she moves through this and comes to the truth of it all and, find some peace too. But Brenda, I don't feel any empathy or sympathy or anything for. I have complete disdain for her. And, she could have disarmed me had she just gotten in touch with me and said, Cathy, we cared about your daughter. We did this, we did that. One of her statements, one of the first things she said to me, and this was online in a private message, she said, she actually put it on a Facebook page too, but that Aundria's case is a cold and forgotten, no, Aundria M. Bowman is a cold and forgotten case at the Allegan County Sheriff's Department. Now, she said that about 2014. She also said to me, get your facts straight. Yeah, and a couple other fairly nasty things.
You were right. Like, you were vindicated in all this. Like,
Totally.
that is like is that the message here too? I think a lot of people feel discouraged by the justice system and by these systems that are supposed to help them. And they feel powerless in their effort to fight what they know is true.
Sure.
Do you feel that this is a good story for people who like that?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a roadmap. If you know you're right, don't go on a detour. Don't be taken on detours, because people want to reassure and people want to, make sure that you're hopeful, and people want to, and I get it, So, I mean, to be sort of like, your focus has to be laser, my focus was like, I wasn't going to take it off what I knew to be true. You just have, once you know the inside, the truth, you want to, and I did, I took on what I could. And, it's a very difficult position. And, when it all happened, I was just so relieved because now, I didn't have to sort of like fin off and reassure, and, I could just, I'm like building a roadmap, and you have to kind of push things out of the way when you do that sort of thing, and get to your destination. And I just knew I was right. And, my friend Carl Koppelman, I don't know if you heard anything about him, but, he was there with me the whole time. Once he and I got a hold of Bowman's records and really started talking to people who knew him and really dug into this, within 2 years, we were decided he'd done this. But we were in different places about where he put her body. He thought her body was hidden over by the house where he murdered her. And indeed it was for a while. And, I was kind of there, and it's so much so that I had it searched. But nothing showed up. And they searched all the property down the road, in the ditches, under the bridge, nothing. So I just became convinced he buried her in his yard so he could control what happened. As long as he didn't open his mouth, he knew
It was
where
right
the
there.
body was, and it must have just blown him away when I figured it out. They were so shook up, they went down to the police. I mean, that's how shook up they were. They went down to the police to complain about me. Police scooped up some DNA, busted in for Kathleen Doyle. So it all worked out the way it should, but I'm telling you, yeah, I just had to be very mindful of what I was doing. And at the same time, I was very upset.
Yeah.
So but
I don't know.
that's almost an art for me.
Well, I
Yeah.
think anger helps
Oh, totally.
sometimes when you're, and that's a thing that people are like, sometimes I talk with people about that all the time because I get angry about stories sometimes,
Yeah.
mad. And
Yeah.
people will be like, well, you have to be nonpartisan. I go, this is not a two-sided situation. And that
Anger's a
anger
motivator.
keeps you going.
That's right. Anger's a motivator. And it definitely is a motivator for me, as long as you don't turn it self-destructive, as long as you don't let it keep you awake at night. And that's difficult,
Yeah.
that's real difficult stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't know, I just feel so bad for people who raise their beautiful children and they're just out having their lives, and then, everything's, and then they disappear. And these people don't know anything about this adult child's life. I mean, outside of what, I mean, I didn't drag every friend I had home. My mother didn't want to meet them. There was a point where, hey, you're grown up, keep it at your house. But so
Right.
that, yeah, I mean, can you imagine a person? I mean, adoption both laid me to waste and sort of saved me it's just a real paradox. I was able to stand back emotionally because, like I said, she never called me mama. We never had those things. Alexis was 9 months old when she went into foster care, not 5 months old. And Brenda did not get her at 10 months. Brenda got her at 16 months. So Brenda didn't even remember when she got her, but I back to what I was saying about people who have missing children, that they, I mean, it could just go off in 10 different directions. I knew he did this. If I'd had to look one other direction, I might have gone crazy,
Yeah.
Consider one other place.
Possibility.
Yes.
Because you get lost on down these
Oh, yeah.
paths of, is it this?
Oh,
Is it
yes.
that? But
Oh,
you,
yes. And you'd sound like a crazy person.
oh yeah.
Well, the details are in your head. Good luck getting all that out, There is a story called The Girl in the Picture by Niall Capello. It's on the Avidus online magazine. It's a long form magazine. HBO's going, Charlize Theron read it, and she's going to play me in an HBO docuseries. And this whole thing's going to come out. So read it if you get a chance. It's really good. It's really well written. And
Wait, so Charlize Theron is going to play you.
right.
You, Cathy Terkainan. Terkainan.
Turkanian.
Terkainan.
Turkanian, 4 syllables, please.
Like, this
Yeah,
is,
it's a mind blower. But you know what it is? It's the karmic wheel. That's what it is. The karmic wheel just rolled right back around and crushed him. So believe in karma, it's real, and believe in the truth, and be fearless. Be fearless, you know? You only here once on this planet. Don't do everything. I mean, be cautious. Let all those things happen, honor them, but live in a fearless vein, if at all possible, you know, because you're going to have to. Life's ruthless. You're going to suffer. End of story. But you'll be resilient if you remember that. And somewhere that's in me. And it came across, you know, and it's something everybody has in them. But you know, it back to the article, it was interestingly, Charlize Theron found the article, and she has a production company and a contract with HBO, and the thing just played out completely. Like the production company's going to do it, she's going to play in it, like it's almost written. So if you read that article, it's written like that article. It's going to stay to that article.
That's nice though.
Yeah.
I will read that. What is it? What is it? Let me write it down.
It's called The Girl in the Picture.
The girl in the picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's written by Niall Capello, and it's on the Avatist. I think it's AVATIS or Atavist. ATV. Addie, how you spell it? ATAVIST. I think it's ATAVIST.
Okay. I'm gonna read it after we get off this call. I'm gonna stop recording because I think we did good. Is there anything else you want to add?
Not at all.
I think you did fantastic.